What up, y'all? Once again, want to welcome y'all to OG Suicide in the building. Keep subscribing, keep spreading the word. Saving lives is changing lives. And today, I got my family in the building, man. Dr. J, LA podiatrist. In the building, family, what's going on with you?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
Man, I appreciate you stepping away, man, from the operation table to come over here and do this.
Anything for you guys. Seriously, I was shocked by the phone call, but here I am.
Oh yeah, definitely. I kind of want to go, back into like, who are you, where you come from, like, where were you born?
So I was born in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And if you saw the word, you would say Worcester.
Okay.
And blue collar family, hairdressers. My dad was a realtor. They struggled, worked their butt, got me into school.
Okay.
And it was good. It's still emotional because, I didn't start reading until I was 13.
Yeah. So you had like a learning disability?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, my son was going through it, but now, today's day and age, the medicine is so different. I started off in a metal cubicle in 5th grade because I wasn't allowed to be with the other kids. And just pushed and pushed and pushed and got into school. And then I remember just quitting and my dad saying, nope, you're going to school, you're going to be a doctor. 2 and 3 times later, 12 years till I get into residency. The average is 10 years. So I did it,
12, it took you 12 years?
Of school to get into residency. Usually it's 10. But I did
okay.
it,
Okay.
And
Why you think you needed to do the extra 2 years?
I reading was an issue for me till I was 13 years old. And, and back then they didn't really test you and they didn't have medication.
Okay.
They just categorized you in A or B.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always in that cubicle and I was always B.
Okay. Like, did you have like special ed classes when you were younger?
They didn't even have that back
then.
They
didn't have it back then?
You're just in a cubicle and a lady would sit next to you and use her finger and have you follow along. And
is that right?
Yeah, but I didn't know any different. I thought everything was fine. And then as soon as I hit college, I was like, damn, like this is going to be tough. And then the same thing for medical school. But I got myself through thanks to my family.
Okay. Moms and pops was like real good supporters of that?
Very good supporters. And that's why I'm here who I am. I have 3 kids.
Okay.
I adopted 2.
Okay.
And then I had a surrogate. And, I push them, love them, trust them, push them, love them, trust them, push them. That's what I believe in,
Okay. What about the household that you grew up in? How was it?
That was solid. Small house, blue-collar family, but lots of love, lots of relatives, grandparents, everybody.
Big family.
Everybody
get together.
Close to 80 of us.
Oh, wow.
All living within a 5-mile radius.
Is that right?
Yeah. And the things have changed though now. Everyone's gone their own way and everyone's done their own thing. It's not like it used to be anymore. You know that.
Yeah. Things have changed. It'll never be the same.
Yeah. So I took my compassion for the love of life and I applied it.
Okay.
To medicine.
Okay. And then when it comes to you being a surgeon, like, what is that life like?
Well, actually, the first 15 years, I had a partner who wouldn't even let me touch a patient. He basically told me that, you're better off with the paperwork. And then that ended. And
why is that?
Basically, I don't know. Honestly, I look back and I don't want to look back.
Okay.
All I know is I know who I am today.
Okay.
And I know why I'm here today.
Okay.
And we learn from mistakes. We learn from decisions that we've made in the past. And as long as you keep learning, it's a great mistake, right?
Yes.
And now what I try to do is pass it on to others.
Okay.
Medicine didn't come easy for me. So when you come into my office, you've got all of me. Because it took a big deal for me to get into that office to be able to treat you. There's a lot of training, a lot of reading, a lot of stuff that I had to push my way through.
Okay.
And that's why I just treat everybody like the way they should be treated.
And then I'm sure a lot of patients that you have, man, they come in there depressed, right?
Yeah.
And you actually a foot surgeon.
So foot and ankle, you think.
Foot and ankle.
Yeah, you think, oh, what's the big deal? So I remember one of my first ankle surgeries was a 15-year-old, underprivileged kid. And if he didn't get that basketball scholarship, he wasn't going to college.
Oh, wow. So your surgery, it helped him get that.
And I remember that in Torrance, California,
yes.
A Latino kid. And then I started realizing, you know what? I'm not just a foot doctor. I'm here to help people. I'm here to get them back on their feet. And I have everything from people that have been on disability, people that can't support their families because they can't go to work because they can't walk. And I'm just fortunate and I'm blessed that I'm able to look at a situation and actually come up with a solution. You know, I mean, I just did the same thing with your nephew. I saw him and I said, hey, boom, 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 boom. This is what you need.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And that's my job. And I found my passion. I mean, I'm 55 years old. Took me a while, but I'm here, right?
But you're here.
Yeah.
You can't really put a timeline on success.
Yeah, I truly, truly believe our lives are already planned out for us.
It is.
Whether you accept it or you don't accept it.
It was written before you got here.
Exactly. And what I'm doing now, I mean, I love my life. I love what I do. I work 6 days a week right now. I got 3 kids out in college. You know, it's expensive, but it's not work to me. It really isn't.
What can you tell me? What's one of your worst patients you ever had? Like the worst that you were able to help them?
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. I've got guys who've had crush injuries to their ankles from construction work, and put them all back together, and they're up and running around. I've had people with infections that went misdiagnosed, and I saved them from amputations. I
So
mean,
they had diabetes?
No. It's simple. Like, you know, you cut your toe, you think nothing of it, you put
It get
Neosporin on
infected.
it, gets infected. The doctor just throws you an antibiotic. I actually just had a lady. I think it was yesterday. She went 5 weeks going to various locations. She had an open sore on the side of her foot that wouldn't heal. Now, one person would touch her. All they would do is just throw her antibiotics,
And tell her it's going to heal.
until it's going to heal. I called her this morning. She cried on the phone. She said, for 5 weeks, I've been limping around, and you fixed it. Took me 10 minutes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, that ain't bad. 10 minutes, and she went 5 weeks. And
The hardest thing is kids. That kills me. I have this passion for that, you know. And how do I explain this? A lot of these kids are underprivileged. You know that.
Yes.
And their parents don't have insurance. Whether they have money or they don't have money, I'm not there to figure that out. I'm just there to take care of that child. And I said, listen, it's not his fault. It's not her fault. I just take care of the kids for free.
And them be like real emotional surgeries right there, especially to see a kid, you know what I mean, needing this surgery is so important.
Yeah, and being a parent just kills me. And you know, that's what I do, and I feel it, I see it, I fix it, I move on. Next. I don't need any stars, spangled banners. I don't need any like hoorays. This is my job. This is what I was actually
You do this from the heart.
Yeah, God told me to get on this earth and take care of these people. Took me a while to figure it out, but I did.
Okay, why you think it took you a while? How did you look at it at first?
Combination. Social skills.
Okay.
My parents kept me very quiet. They took care of everything for me. I didn't know what reality was. I came out to California. It was like standing in the middle of the 405 freeway. Everybody was coming from all different directions. I wasn't prepared for that, for life. I wasn't prepared for people cheating you and stealing from you. I wasn't prepared for any of that.
Oh, wow. So
in my
you
family,
went through that.
Yeah, I give
family?
you $1, you give it back $1. You don't lose $1 and say, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's A. And then
so
B,
you kind of went through that where people have
who went through it,
robbed you blind.
They keep trying to do it now.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do it now. They're not going to do it. I'm a steel sheet. And the way I look at it is I got to take care of me, but more importantly, my family. You know, I take care of my mom 100%.
Okay.
My dad left us in a tough situation. Not his fault.
What was going on?
Well, it's just, you know, he passed and left.
Oh, he passed.
He
Okay.
passed away 7-8 years ago. It was traumatizing. And, you know,
how was life?
He was living on a line of credit and never told anybody. And here I'm trying to like pay for stuff, and he wasn't letting me because he was the hero of the family. And when he passed, you know, I had my mom's house, line of credit. So immediately
it all fell on
me. And it's either she goes into the subsidized living, which is not going to happen. She got me through college, or I was to jump in. And so for about 7 years, I was renting houses and moving my kids and keeping my kids, and I pretty much got things where they need to be.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. And I'm sure too, it's still, you know what I mean, losing a parent, man, it still hurts. You know, that's like pain that just don't walk away at all. Definitely.
But you know what? One of my patients is a pastor, and he told me, when you feel that pain, you have great memories. And that means it was a good relationship. It's when you don't care that you never had that.
Yeah, you don't
that
even
love, that family love.
Yeah, so you're right. That makes sense.
Would you rather be sore and sorry and sad? Of course I would. 100%.
Okay, how do your mom feel about, you know, what you do?
Oh, she supports me 100%. It gets frustrating, you know. She's older now, and you get a lot to carry.
Frustrating to you?
Gets frustrating, yeah, because life has changed. All of a sudden, social
Okay.
media and computers
different.
and bill pay and all that. You take an 80-year-old woman and you tell them to transform themselves from the little checkbook they would carry and they
Yeah,
write.
yeah,
It's all different now. And being born in the '60s, I'm 55. I'm still learning. There's a lot to learn out there. Now these kids that are coming out of school, they're already typing, looking all over the place.
Yeah,
And then there's
yeah.
me. Do.
Yeah, I agree with you with that because at Enterprise, we had a typing class was an elective, and I'm like, well, I need to know how to type for, and not knowing here we are years later, and
Exactly.
you know what I mean, and social media, the internet, and
Exactly.
and like I feel you with the pecking,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I get made fun of all the time with my two fingers. I said, would you rather me type better and be a bad surgeon, or would you rather me just type like this and be a good doctor, right?
yeah, that's what's most important. That's what they want. Be a good doctor, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure. Now, what about? Let's go back to like when your younger childhood days, like let's say 7, 8, 9 years old. How was life in your household back then?
Life was always safe for me. I never knew different. I mean, if we had
So you could say you had a let's say born with a silver spoon.
you could say that, but my parents would never let me know that they're struggling. Let's just put it that way. And then later on in life, I
Knew.
I didn't know then. No, because everything I always
What about
had
in your
everything.
teenage
Teenage
years?
They
You
were
didn't
very
know.
supportive. I didn't know anything again, and they just kept things going as if everything was okay. And then, I hear the stories now, but that's family's everything to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, what's one of the stories you can think back that was during a time of struggling?
Well, I just remember it was a huge snowstorm, and I was actually going for my first interview in New York, and all the flights were canceled and stuff. And my dad's like, "You're going for this interview," and he did everything he could to get me there. And I got the interview, and ended up getting accepted in New York. But that's love. Most parents would have been, "Oh, it's snowy."
Yeah, forget about it.
Forget about it. You can do that another day. Or, "Oh, you don't want to be a doctor? It's okay. Go do what you want to do."
Yeah, go do
And
something
he
else.
did not let me go. You're being a doctor. My sister's going to be a nurse, and that was what all there was to be. There was no.
And your
ifs, ands, or
sister's a
buts.
nurse.
Yeah, she's an amazing nurse.
Yeah.
Mother. She takes care of the household with my mom as far as her supplies, her needs, medical,
Okay.
anything that I'm more on the financial end.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
together, my mom gets an amazing life.
That's
For
good.
what she deserves. Because she's been through it too. I mean, it's tough. I
Yeah.
know she was struggling. They were struggling with money when I was in school, and I remember the cash register. You used to push the button, and the thing opens up, and she would give me cash and say,
Yeah.
"Good luck in school," not knowing that that's all she had.
Oh, she had a store?
They had a hair salon.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
many years, and I know I can still remember all the customers. God rest their souls; they've all passed. But that's where we grew up. Was in a hair salon,
And where was that at?
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did y'all let it go, or another
So,
family member kept
no,
it going?
actually, what happened is my dad got sick, and they
Okay.
lost the building, and then of course, they told us they sold it, but
But when you find out later down the
find out
line,
later that they were struggling, and she had to end up running a booth to see her hair salon patients. My dad, couldn't walk. Probably by the time he was 72, 73 from diabetes.
oh wow.
And then, my mom would not dare put him into a nursing home. So she was taking care of him, taking care of the house,
Okay.
and running the salon.
And you say y'all had to put him in a nursing home?
He didn't, no, she would not allow
She
that.
wouldn't allow
No,
it.
we would
Okay.
not allow that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody just came together and took care of him, made sure
Took
he
care
was
of him.
good.
Yeah, but I made sure everything was good the way it was supposed to be. I could visit when I could. And it was sad. He called me on a Wednesday and he died on a Friday.
Y'all was real close.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. Let it out, loved one. It's good. It's
It
no
is.
problem. Let it out, loved one. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. You good. You
Okay.
good. You good. It's a safe haven right here. It's good. So
Yeah.
y'all was like real close with each other.
8 years he's been gone. Look at,
Yeah.
still can't talk about it.
Yeah. Y'all had a good relationship.
Great relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took good care of him, took good care of me, and unfortunately, he didn't take care of his health, and he had
Okay.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You said he didn't take care of his health. Did you see like him going through it
Oh yeah,
during the
of
time
course.
of it
I
with his
remember at
health?
40 years old getting diagnosed with diabetes,
Yeah.
blowing it off, not a big deal. Then it goes to insulin. Then, he starts losing feeling to his legs. Now he's not driving. Now he's not walking. And then it just leads to, heart failure, and you die.
And how were you during this time?
I was working my tail off, doing my thing, and I get a phone call at 3 a.m. that he got served a cup of coffee, had a couple sips, and then he was gone.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And you said you talked to him on a Wednesday?
Wednesday, he had called and left a message and talked to him, and then telling me that, he's sorry that he's put all this burden on me.
Yeah. You used to go see him a lot during the time when he was
every
going through it?
3 to 4 months, I would fly home. And remember, I had the kids were young at the time.
Okay.
And the sad part is I got the phone call, and I went home and I had to tell the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me see. So Logan right now is 16, 8 minus 16. So, he was 8 years old. Caleb was 7. Amara was 9. And I flew them all home, and it was hard.
Yeah, that's definitely was hard to come home and, to have to tell them this, to let them know.
And they just like, well, hurry up, let's go before he closes his eyes. Like, they don't know.
Yeah.
And then when you get there and the body's up there at the wake, I didn't want to look at him. I couldn't. I already had my memories.
Yes. And you wanted to always remember him.
Yeah. And as I'm walking down the aisle, my 2 sons grabbed me and said,
"It's good, loved one. Let it out. It's good, loved one."
Go up there and go see him one more time.
Mm-hmm.
And I did.
And you did. And you went to go see him?
Yeah. And it was, I did what I had to do. So my 2 sons grabbed my hands at that young age. Oh, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And, for your kids to do that,
yes,
it's pretty amazing.
They was right there with you. That was your strength.
And they said, "Puppy, you're not allowed to leave until you say goodbye."
And you said your goodbyes.
I said my goodbyes. Yeah.
For sure.
But this that you see here, I use this to get out there and take care of people.
Yes. Yeah. And that's good you're doing that. Mm-hmm. That's another way of giving back. Like you said, if a person not financially there, you still help them.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I do everything with love and kindness, and sometimes I cry with my patients, and we get through it. It's just it's my life now. This is it. The kids are set. They're all on autopilot. If they need me, they know I'm here.
Yes.
They're all independent.
Okay.
Made them that way.
Okay.
And I just want to keep growing. I'm going to keep growing and keep taking care of people as long as God's willing to give me my hands and my brain. You got it.
And he's giving you that. Yep. You have that. Full-fledged, full throttle. So that's good, man. It's good you're doing that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, keep up the good work, definitely. Keep up the good work, man. So life for you every day, you just have patients coming in and out.
Yeah.
How many patients you think you'll see in a day?
I see somewhere between 50 to 100 patients.
A day?
No, per week.
Per week?
Yeah.
Wow. And how many surgeries would you say you do?
It ranges. Sometimes there's 5 surgeries, sometimes there's 3 surgeries, and other times there's 10 or 15 surgeries. But I will never take on work that I can't handle.
Okay.
And I put my hand up right away and say stop.
But those surgeries are done in the same day? Like if you have 5 on Tuesday, you do all 5?
I would do 5 all Tuesday, yeah. But I'm fortunate. I have 3 residents now, and they're all in training.
Okay.
I have assistant surgeon friends who will come in on hard cases for me and help me out. And I have a great team. I have everything.
And you're training them.
Yeah. Well, I'm not just training them how to do surgery.
Okay.
I'm training them how to treat people.
And that's important.
Yeah. And I'm treating them like you're no different than that guy over there. That's changing.
Don't look down on them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I said, you respect everybody. And if you can't, you can sit in the corner and watch the surgery because you're not ready then. And that's the one thing that they notice is I come in always in positive spirits. And they're like, hey, doc, how come you're always so happy? I said, I'm not always so happy. I said, but when I'm here and everybody's watching me, this is game day. If I was an NFL star, right?
Yes.
I'm going to be on my point when I'm on that field when everybody's watching.
Yes.
And that's how I see my surgeries.
Okay.
I come in with the positive attitude. I review the case. I talk to the patient. I calm them down. Some of the patients, before they go under anesthesia, you hold their hand, you rub their shoulders. You got to do everybody's different. You
got to make them feel comfortable because their life is in your hands.
Yeah, and
they're getting ready to go under.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about being a doctor is, you're not just treating the same bank. You're not just treating the same account. You're treating each individual who has various, experiences with medicine. I just had a post. She has white coat syndrome. She said, I'm never having surgery unless I have to have CPR.
What is that?
White coat syndrome, she's afraid of doctors.
Okay.
And then she made her announcement, like she was so proud, like so happy. She didn't even feel like she was having surgery. She was like she was socializing with me.
And she gave you that opportunity.
She gave me the
So she
opportunity.
got over it.
She got over
You
it real
helped her get
fast.
over that.
Yeah, and she actually did a little post for me, and I was like, wow, this is really nice. But again, I don't really pay attention. Like I don't understand it, but now I see it, and I'm really enjoying it. I really do.
Oh, okay. Okay. And like you said, your staff, your team, sometimes they ask you like, wow, like you always got this good energy, because
Always.
I'm sure, like whatever it is you're going through, you don't take it into your workplace.
100%.
100%.
Because that's
when you
not
walk
their
out that
business.
door,
It could be something different. I might have to sit in my car and cry for 5 minutes. I might have to struggle about something. I might have to deal with something, but that's no one's business. I'm there to provide care.
yeah. Yes.
Okay, I'm not there to provide negative anything. They're
Yes.
coming to me already negative. They're
Yes.
injured. They don't feel good. They have an infection. A negative is going to give you another negative. You don't do that. You want to be that positive charge.
Yes.
And patients see it as soon as they walk in.
Oh, wow. And it's just it's amazing how you know what I mean, you're changing lives, because I'm sure, like I said earlier, I'm sure quite a bit of patients that come in be going through depression.
The thing is I don't know. I don't really understand it, but I get patients that are being treated after 2 and 3 years, or seeing 3 and 4 doctors.
Yeah.
And recently,
And those doctors couldn't get it right.
Recently, I just started doing just randomly. Some attorney asked me if I would do personal injury, and I was like, "What's personal injury?" And he's like, "You know, when they get injured." So yeah, no problem. My first patient, she slid into a tub, bent her toe back for 2.5 years. No one did an MRI of her foot to see if she had a torn tendon. She walked in and I said, "Your tendon is torn, but it's been 2.5 years."
And you knew that
it's
just
scarred from looking at it, but it's scarred down. Did the MRI. Sure enough, I was right. So I'm going to go in there and fillet it, replace the tendon, and put it back together. She just bawled, just cried, and just sat there and cried.
So for 2 years, they never did an MRI?
Never did an MRI.
So what they just tell her? She just had a fractured toe?
Fractured toe, and they just kept repeating x-rays and giving her injections. They had another guy who's...
Wow.
Yeah, I had a fractured ankle that was never put back properly. And they saw it on x-ray.
Yeah?
Did a CT on him, and he'll be going in. And he's been suffering. He's been limping for a year since he went hiking with his girlfriend and broke his ankle.
I don't get that. How is it? Well, you have a gift, for sure. But how is it they don't see it for 2 years? That's a trip to me. They don't see something for 2 years, and they come to you in 10, 15 minutes. You're like, this is what it is.
And like 3-4 minutes. As they start talking, I'm starting to look, and I'm just trying to look and see what's going on. And okay, okay, this is what your problem is. And like, how do you know that? I said, 25 years. That's how I know this. You know, I have another guy, another lady was hit in the head-on collision.
Yeah?
Foot was on the brake. She hasn't able to walk properly. They've been doing the back thing, the hip thing.
Yes.
But no one looked at
Well,
the
they
foot.
was just giving her shots.
Yeah.
Never looked at her foot.
No one looked at her foot. And if you think about it, if you get into a head-on collision, what's the first thing you do with your foot? You brace your foot.
Brake.
Right?
You hit the
she
brake
braced her foot,
automatically.
She turned, and there she goes. She blew out her ligaments. I said, "Come here, look at your foot." She's like, "Why doesn't anyone else know that?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "But we've met. Let's stay positive. Let's get you better, and you can go enjoy your 20s." And that was it.
Oh, she was young.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. If you don't want to practice medicine, then don't do it. I had to struggle to get my degree. I worked my tail off. Maybe it comes too easy for these people. Maybe they have too much money. Maybe they're, I don't know.
And maybe they have family members that work at the hospital that bring them in.
I don't know. And, and a lot of people, they're not happy at home. If you're not happy at home, you're not going to be happy anywhere. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take care of where you live and where you are. I'm not talking about like fancy stuff and luxury, but you're going to be happy. And then from being happy, you spread the love and you apply what you've been trained for in life.
And you've been doing this 25 years.
25 years.
Wow.
Crazy.
Let's say if you was to throw a number out there, even a ballpark figure, how many surgeries would you say you have done?
Oh, God, I can't even.
A ballpark number, not even accurate, just thousands?
You figure 300 per year. So what would that be? I don't even, I can't
and 25, huh?
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. It adds up.
Yeah.
How about today? You had any surgeries today before you came out?
No. Today
I know
was,
you said you had some patients came today.
Today was consultation day. I try to give you the whole day. I try to take the morning off. Unfortunately, through the internet, they make appointments just immediately. And I don't care that they make that appointment. I'm going to show up and take care of them. I don't care if they made it 10 minutes ago.
So you kind of go over everything with them, show them what it is.
I'm in LA Mondays and Tuesdays. Wednesdays I'm in Orange County. Thursdays, Fridays. I'm in Inland Empire area. So I move around. I have 7, 8 locations. I love moving around. I like spreading the love.
So you have 7, 8 different locations?
Correct.
These are your facilities?
I subcontract
with
all these people. Yeah, I don't want the overhead. I don't need the overhead. I don't need the star. I just go in there.
He said, I don't need the star. No. You don't want the star on Hollywood, man? No, all these blessings?
I don't need that door with my name and the little fringes and all that. No.
Said, I don't mean that, no. I just need to come in here and take 10, 15 minutes, tell them what's
wrong. Foot.
That's what's up. And what's some of the I know you named one, some of the infections that people can get on their foot?
Well, the biggest thing is just an ingrown toenail that turns nasty. A lot of people let it go and ends up with an amputation or IV antibiotics for 6 weeks because the bone is right there.
Yes.
The other one is a spider bite. Spider bites are nasty.
Yeah?
Yeah, and they let them go, and then they become septic, which means that
so what they do is just put an ointment on it, some peroxide,
and do all that.
They'd be like, oh, it's cool, it's healed, but actually it's still
infection
infection in the inside, huh?
Yeah, the infection spreads through the body, and they become what they call septic. So.
And you're able to.
Oh yeah, you pick it up right away, and you just drain it, pop it, and then you of course you have to consult with the team. You have infectious disease, you have primary care, and you get on the phone with everybody, and you do what you got to do.
But if they unfortunately don't have it, then you still help them.
Oh, of course, I help them, and I rush them to the hospital, and then I pass the information over, and then the team will take over.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't treat everything yourself, and you can't think that way either. You can't be blindfolded. You need to spread it out to whatever they need. And sometimes these doctors, I have to go get on them. Like, move. Are you going to do this or not? If you're not going to do this, I'll find somebody else to do this.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, so you also take patients to
other doctors.
And you tell them what's the problem, and this is how you fix it.
Right, and this is what I need from you because it's not in my specialty, and this is what I'm, diagnosing them. I remember when I first started, and I was ordering MRIs, and the owner of the center, of course, I can't mention any names.
You don't have to.
I'm not going to, but the point is, he's like, what are you doing ordering MRIs? You're just a foot doctor.
You can't order MRIs as a foot doctor?
Of course we can. I do not 80%.
That's a part of the MRI from the top of your head to the bottom of your foot.
80% of the stuff I do is soft tissue damage. How are you going to know soft tissue damage without an MRI?
Wow.
And that's what I do, And I get a little competitive with people like that. You don't treat me, don't disrespect me.
You think it'd be jealousy too, though?
And if you don't want my business, I move it over, and then, of course, 2-3 years later, they knock on your door and say, "You remember me? Yeah, I remember you, but I'm not bringing you back." I always say, we don't recycle people. When God takes people out of your life, there's a reason.
Leave them out of your life.
I wish I knew that for the first 15 years of my practice. I would go and chase them and try to fix things. That's not our job.
Even if you wasn't in the wrong.
Even if it
of the situation,
however it ends, it's done. You're gonna get out to the next chapter, move forward, and it's all about respect. It's what you gotta do.
Oh yeah, that's a key thing, respect.
And then patients, of course, they yell at you and they scream at you, and I just stand there.
Yeah, and I say, what they be yelling at you, saying, cussing you out?
They have to wait for 30 minutes. Why is there so much paperwork? What do you mean you don't take my insurance? Why is it so expensive? And I just said, listen, you have options.
Well, how much? I don't know if you put your price out there like that, but let's say like an ankle. Like what's the average cost for that? Like
it all honestly.
It depends on the work, the job.
But it's not even that I'm overcharging somebody. It's just they don't want to pay.
No, I'm not saying you're overcharging.
But they just don't want to pay. It's just a principle that we hear a lot about. They don't want to pay. They don't want to, and they pick these insurance plans.
Okay.
If you pick an insurance plan with a $5,000 deductible, you're gonna pay until that number hits. Just because you have insurance doesn't mean that it gets applied. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's paperwork. Correct. And they got to submit it and then see if it get approved. You submit it, see if it get approved. We do all the
approval.
Okay.
And then you have to pay your portion. And then sometimes patients get mad. And I just said simply that there's the door.
So the insurance pay part, then they pay the difference.
Exactly. And the biggest peeve I have right now is they'll go for another opinion. and their doctor will
Second
tell them,
opinion.
you
Okay.
don't need surgery. I have more than enough surgeries to do. I don't need to make up surgeries. Number one,
Wow.
that's not right. And number two, I don't need to do that. And then I say, okay, so you don't need surgery. You have a ruptured Achilles. What are you going to do now? Well, I don't know. Well, you just told them you don't need surgery. So you're just going to let them sit there?
Yeah. Because
That's
they already.
not fair.
It's
that
not.
happens over and over. But
It's not fair.
one thing I don't do is I won't take the patient back.
No.
No, because it's an indication to me, maybe this isn't the right patient to work on. You know,
Okay.
It's just a signal, you know, and you have to be careful.
So
I mean,
it's bad business everywhere.
correct.
No matter what walk of life it is, you know, from the streets to the doctor's office. They're bad people, bad business.
It's always the same. And I treat everyone, you know, I have to treat, remember, I'm taking care of a patient. I got to imagine like the law, and I've got to imagine the insurance company. And I got to make sure that everything is on key. So if I tell you you need surgery, you need surgery.
Straight
Because
out.
in 2 years from now, I don't want to be going into a courthouse having to defend myself why I have to do or don't do. And you still get that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But as long as I have my ducks in a row, I don't care. Shoot.
So sometimes you get people try to sue you.
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah. Medical.
Why?
That's the
Oh, the medical?
medical field.
What about the patient?
The patients, they think that, you know, you did something wrong or that another doctor told them.
But you
they
fixed
should
the
have mentioned something.
situation that they've been
Exactly.
dealing with for 2 years.
Exactly.
And then they go back and see the doctor like, look, I'm good. Like, you gave me false information. They like, no.
If I told
You
you
did
what my
a-
malpractice insurance bill was every year, you'd.
Yeah.
But you have to have it. You have to protect yourself. That's the society we live in. It's
At least like $1
litigious.
million.
I don't talk about that.
Okay. It's up there though. It ain't crumbs.
No, it ain't. And that's the other thing. Overhead for doctors.
Just
is
to protect
crazy.
yourself.
You
Okay.
have to. Yeah. And you know, and I'm always buddy. Like I always talk to the lawyers and I make everybody laugh because I don't get mad. I'm not gonna get mad. This is something that they want to go through. This is something that they feel as though that they need to go through and sue you for. Let them. That's what their job is for. But I also have a lawyer and I have insurance, and that's what we do to take care of it.
Like that's their job. Take care of it. You gonna stay in this doctor's office and keep doing what you do.
Yeah, my life is too busy to be worried about what's over my shoulder. I always look forward. 'Cause the minute you look back, you're going to hit what's in front. And you know that. It's just like driving a car.
Or you turn into a pile of salt.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
No.
Definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's definitely amazing.
I appreciate it, yeah.
And you say you hold it down the family. That's what you
Yes,
do.
the
Do it for the
family
family,
is
man.
something.
Hold
Yeah.
it down.
Family and God. You got to take care of that.
Mandatory. That's
Yeah, I'm
priorities.
not a holy roller, but I know there's a God and I believe in God. And
Mandatory.
I go to a church every other week out in India, and I take care of, I told you I mentor a homeless kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And how is that going?
It's amazing.
Okay.
Life-changing. Life-changing. It opened your eyes. You should only be so grateful to get in a car, to drive home, take a shower, have a good meal, sleep on a clean pillow, and get up the next day and do your job. A lot of people don't have that.
They don't.
And they weren't raised properly. Or they were given the tools of life to survive. And, like my guy, his parents died and they get a knock on the door that his rent's due, but he has no parents. They've passed. No one told him that you have to pay rent. And the next thing you know, he's on the street, and then they get involved with
Wow.
drugs and alcohol. And, I can't change
How
the
long he
world.
had been on the streets before?
On and off.
So
for-
y'all he
on and
have a
off for
place
2 or
to
3
stay
years.
now. Y'all have him.
Yeah, well, there's a center that,
Okay.
that I work at.
Downtown LA?
No, it's actually in Indio.
In Indio.
California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a community center out there, and I go out there every other weekend. I have to work on Saturdays, so
Okay.
I go out there every other weekend. And we started a mentor program with the pastor, and it's going amazing. I mean, the kids changed. It's amazing. It makes you feel good. But you go to church, and these people, they don't have a lot of money.
No.
Christmas to me this year with them, it was the most holiest feeling. And my body had chills and could feel like it wasn't like who's driving what car, who has Versace on, it was none of that. It was yelling and screaming and celebrating Christ and the birth of Christ, and it was touching. It really opened my eyes.
How many in the mentoring program? How many?
We just started
y'all
it.
have?
I
Okay.
just started it. We just started it like in I think August or September.
Okay.
But it's going to be something that we're going to continue.
Okay.
And there's 600 people that are in the
Yeah.
in the community center. 600 homeless people
Wow.
that they take in off the streets, and you got to behave. And it's
Kids.
it's every walk of life. It's an abused woman with her 3 children and have nowhere to live, to someone who got involved with drugs and was found on the street, to alcoholics who are trying to stop drinking, to teenagers who are with substance abuse. I mean, it's every
Wow.
walk of life, and they all live under one roof. And God bless these people that put this all together.
And that's good. So y'all make sure they good.
Yeah, and as you can see,
Do y'all have schooling like for the young?
they all go to school there. They have different programs for them. There is religion involved, and the idea is to get them on the streets in about a year.
Oh,
Get them back out.
So it's like rehabilitate.
So my guy should be back out in about 3 months. We just got him his driver's license. Took care of his DMV.
And how old is he?
He's 33.
33.
Yeah.
Okay.
He lost his parents, I believe, late 20s, early 30s, and
Was never the same.
never the same. He doesn't. His parents homeschooled him, so he didn't really know what was really out there.
Okay.
Life's tough.
Yeah.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is.
That's why you have to stay focused and make sure every day, man, you do the right thing. Make it make sense.
Exactly.
That's the key thing. It has to add up. But if it don't add up, then it's subtracting. And
Exactly.
you don't want to subtract. You want to keep adding. So
Exactly.
that's cool. Mentoring, that's definitely cool. Like during the holidays, how is it?
It was amazing. I mean, I drove back like tears. I mean, I'm obviously an emotional person. You see me cry twice today. It's just touching that, you change 1 or 2 people's lives. You give them that hug. You let them know it's going to be fine. I mean, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. I just wish I did this years ago, and I was never exposed to this. But again, everything in our life is planned.
Oh, yeah. And I've been homeless before, so I definitely know the feeling.
Oh,
And it seemed like when you're going through that, one thing I learned is there's always people that genuinely care, and then there's the people over here that want to see you go through this.
Exactly.
It's like envy is powerful.
Yep.
I've learned over the years, hate come in jokes.
Yep.
People be joking, but they serious.
Right.
And it's crazy, that it's like that. But yeah, I know the feeling, man, of being homeless, being out in the rain all night. I done slept in cars. I done slept at the parks. And it was a trip because I'm one of those ones, man, come from the streets, but I got a good heart.
Yep.
I've always been that one that, man, I've broke bread when I had crumbs.
Right.
Well,
when I met you, at my friend's house, I said to that, I was like, "Who is this guy? Like, this guy's legit." And
yeah, man, I stand out.
Yeah.
I'm always stand out in the room, when I'm there. But
and then when you asked me to be on your show, I was like, "Hell yeah, where, when, where? Let's go."
Oh yeah.
Because I felt it, and I'm able to communicate with you very well. And we have our highs and lows. We've been through our highs and lows. We're not perfect.
No, nobody's perfect.
And
for sure.
I have to keep working every day. If I stop working, what am I going to do? I'll be in the streets.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No.
You'll be at the shelter, at the mentoring shelter. Yeah.
But no, I'm not going to let. No. I'm full force ahead.
And making the right decisions. Like I said, making it make sense, man, and that's good. Stay on that. Keep doing that.
Thanks.
Keep doing and keep helping make a difference.
I am
in someone's life. That's so important. Some people, they get in these high positions and they get the feeling like they're better than everybody, and they don't understand, man, how important it is to give back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To take somebody under the wing, man, and help them change their life.
Exactly.
To show them better.
Yeah. I remember like giving a child an insole and being able to see them to run again.
Wow.
With Dr. J's Relief, the one where everyone can afford, it's like $35.
Okay.
Put that in a child's shoe and see them run again.
Wow.
It's no expression. There's no. I mean, it's just amazing. And it's like, look, mommy, I can run again.
And why is it that they can't run?
When a child develops, sometimes their ankle bone doesn't rotate enough, and it needs assistance to rotate. And we simply just make them an insole, or they get that's why I developed Dr. J's Relief. It's a corrective over-the-counter insole.
Wow.
And got together with a few people and form that.
And it's helping. It's really, okay. It's
Oh, it's a
making
big
a
deal.
difference.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I tell people, I'm not here to be a salesman. Listen, I'm giving you an option. Your insurance is saying no, and you don't have $600, but I'm not going to let you go.
So they normally cost
A
$600.
custom is 600,
A custom.
800, 600, 800.
Okay, and how do you make this custom? You have to
You have to
measure
make a
the foot,
mold,
have to make a
You know,
mold.
and you send it to the lab, and insurances are less and less are covering this stuff. And patients, whether they do or not, I can kind of eye it if they have the money or not. But it doesn't. It's irrelevant. The point is that I need to fix you,
Yeah.
not judge you on what you can and cannot afford.
Because you're going to continue being blessed.
And 85% of the problems that come to me is abnormal wear and tear. Just like a car that's misaligned for a long period of time, the tire is going to blow. Patients come to me with their
Especially
tires.
when you see the wire.
Yeah, and then the patients the same way. They're getting ready to blow because of the way they've been walking and standing and no one's picked it up. And that's where it all starts from. I always tell my patients, if you have water in the basement of your house, you're going to dry the water off, you're going to find the leak. You find the leak. Then we dry the water off. And that's what I do different when I treat a patient. I find out, why are you here in front of me? I know that this tendon is not working, but why are you here in front of me? And then I address that issue, and then I go after the damage.
How do a lot of your patients find you?
Oh, Google,
word of mouth,
Google, Yelp.
Okay, so you just type
media.
in, like, for instance, if they went to Google and typed in what?
It's Dr. Robert Joseph.
Well, if they didn't know your name, like if they was just looking for type of surgery, you're gonna come up.
Foot doctors.
Foot doctors.
Gonna come up.
There you
Los
go.
Angeles, yeah.
Dr. J.
Yeah. I have the most reviews on Yelp. Some are good, some are bad. It's okay, but everybody has their opinion.
What are the bad ones? You did a good job though on the surgery though, right?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't look at any of them because I don't want to. I get sensitive because I know what I do for every patient. I know I put my heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to get my feelings hurt. And it's okay. Everyone has their opinion. People can have opinion of the show. People can have opinion of me talking to you. Like, why is he here? This is what we want. We came together for this. We want to do this. We want to let people know out there that there are good doctors out there. We care.
There are.
We hustle, and we have to work hard. Just because you have a degree on your wall, it's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you still got to get out and go do what you got to do.
Medicine is a business. You got to balance your books. You got
Okay.
to make sure you're getting paid.
Okay.
You got to make sure the patients are coming in.
Okay.
Exactly.
I mean, no patients, then what do you have? An empty room.
Exactly. And then who's going to pay the overhead?
Yeah.
So it's the same.
You got to do surgery on yourself.
Thing. And let me tell you, it's not what you do right. It's when you do something wrong, everybody talks about it.
Everybody. Mandatory.
Yeah.
But in these days and times, though, you do something good, somebody's going to have something bad to say.
Of course.
Or if you do something bad, they're going to have something bad to say. So regardless, good or bad, it's going to be a bad remark.
Listen, in my heart, I do the right thing.
That's all that matters.
And that's all that matters. At the end of the day, when I close my eyes and say, God, give me another day. God, give me another day.
And
give me another day to see my family grow.
Yes.
And another day to take care of patients.
This was amazing. Dr. J, thank you for coming, sitting down with the OG, man. I appreciate you. This is OG Suicide in the building. Make sure you hit up OG Suicide in the building.com for your merchandise. Go get your merch. Keep subscribing. Keep spreading the word. This has been amazing. Until next time, peace.